Hello, hello. We are good to go. It's been too long, but I am back. I am back. I am sweating. It's really hot. It's like 40 degrees. I don't know. It's really hot, but I just had to pull off the fan so I could do this video. But we are back. We are back, and we're gonna look at every single confirmed signing that I found on this site, and the ones I could remember that weren't on the site. I just put them in. So um, we have the categories over here. We have statement. This means that other clubs have to look at this player and be like, whoa, they are serious. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by statement signing. Then we have high upside, which is just, it's not a statement signing, but it's a good signing and it could become a statement signing depending on how this player goes. It could be a top signing. Then we have raise the spirits. For me, these are the bench players, you know what I mean? They come, they're in the squad, they raise the spirits, they contribute every now and then, but I don't think they're gonna be bona fide, top players. And I'm unsure, which are just players I'm not sure about. I don't know how good they're gonna be. Hopefully they're great, and I wish all of them the best. But and then we have gone next season, Chiesa style. One season, no contribution, not good enough, you're out. So that's pretty much the categories, and we are gonna go straight into it with Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz. I might be a bit biased, but what the, this is going straight into statement. I don't care about the money. I was on Twitter and I saw someone talking about we need an enforcer. That Gravenberch, was makeshift. We need an enforcer. When we signed Florian Wirtz, I'm like, we just signed one of the most exciting players in world football, and you're talking to me about an enforcer? Get out of here, Florian Wirtz. So obviously we lost Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he was a massive creative player, getting it through the lines. And our midfield has never been super creative post Coutinho, so I think this is gonna be a new style. We're gonna see how he adapts to the Premier League. I think Florian Wirtz is a magician on the ball. Old school, creative kind, but he gets around. He's not lazy. He gets around. So I think it's a statement signing, man. I think it's a statement. Um, a few concerns about where he's gonna play. Um, on the wing, I really don't want to see him on the wing. I don't mind him taking Sabozlai space, and Sabozlai can play the eight. He can also play the cam. If something happens to Verts, hopefully not. But I just think he's an absolute baller, and I want to see ballers play at my club. And for me, it's a statement signing. Not really the kind of signing Liverpool have made over the past years, but we've always shown we had the money, the Caicedo bid, and everything. So, look, I think it's a statement. I think that anybody who thought, Liverpool, Arsenal had injuries, City fell off, are Liverpool going to be back next season? Yes, we will. Flo Verts, statement signing. Next person, Kevin De Bruyne. Look, we've seen so many players go to the Italian league and extend their careers by more years. We see Mkhitaryan do it. Çalhanoğlu's done it with Inter. We see guys like Chris Smalling, who we thought are done at this stage. And KDB is a different level to these people. KDB is a footballing legend icon, one of the greatest midfielders to play, one of the greatest players to play in the Premier League. Period. So, and now he goes to Napoli, and this Napoli side that just won the Scudetto. He's gonna link up with his Belgian teammate Romelu Lukaku. I think this is gonna be beautiful, man. I think. Look, we know his legs are gone. It's not the same KDB physically, but in terms of quality, picking out a pass, this guy is still as elite as ever. And I think this for me is gonna go into high upside. There's really no downside because it was free, contract done. I think I think it's a great signing. I really do. Maybe I'm going to tune into the Italian league more. It's gonna be fun actually watching KDB on this side, Modric on the other side for AC Milan, and I just realized Modric is not on this list. I'd also put Modric maybe in Raise the Spirits. He's a bit older, but this is. I'm excited to see this. Next up, I believe this is Juan Garcia, new keeper, and I'm just gonna put this in high upside. I think he's a young keeper. He did very well last season, and yeah, young keeper did very well last season. I think Barcelona do need a keeper. I think Szczesny did a great job actually in Ter Stegen's absence, but you don't want to rely on like a retired someone coming back from retirement. I think Ter Stegen has struggled a bit in recent seasons. I think he's still a top keeper. I know a lot of Barcelona fans really go hard on him. I think he's a top keeper, but I do think this is a good signing. If everything works out, he should anchor that position for the next 10 years for Barcelona. So I think it is a good signing. Next up, we have Cunha, who I'm also going to put in high upside because I think he's a baller. I think he's a baller. I think technically so sound. Scores goals, we saw with Wolves. And also, I think Cunha has this ability to carry a bad team. He's not a system player. And as we know, United at the moment are, they're in shambles. So I think a player like Cunha playing on that left 10 side of Amarim's system, I think he's going to ball out. I think Cunha is going to ball out. Even if United suck, I think Cunha is going to ball out. I just think he's a really good player. I think he'll do well in Amarim's system. I think he actually fits that position because he's not quite a striker, not quite a winger either. So that like 10 position, I think he's going to do good. I know there's some stats about he walks the most in the Premier League. I don't care about that. I think he's a star. I think he's going to be a good player. He could be a statement in future. But the only problem is it's United, and we've seen United ruin good quality, great players before. So it is a bit sus, but I'm gonna keep it high upside. I think it's the kind of signing United needs to make. Premier League proven. I think it's a good signing, so I'm with it. Next up, Leroy Sané to Galatasaray, and I am gonna put this in unsure. Oh my god, I'm sweating. I'm gonna put Leroy Sané in unsure because look, if you told me, let's say 8 years ago, Leroy Sané would be here at Galatasaray at 29, I mean, it's a bit disappointing, but look, Leroy Sané was a wonder kid straight from Schalke. I remember that free kick is called in the Champions League. Just a wonder kid. Went to City, balled out for a couple seasons, then obviously got injured. Went to Bayern. Was supposed to be like a star man at Bayern. Never really did that. He contributed. He was a good player, but I mean, at 29, going to Galatasaray, it's a bit unfortunate. But look, we've seen players go to our Turkish league and ball out. Osimhen was there last season. Um, Icardi not too long ago was balling out there. Dzeko was balling out there. So I'm I won't be surprised if Sani actually goes there and does ball out. But I'm not sure. It's just a bit disappointing to see Leroy Sane there. And now we have this new Madrid guy. I believe it's like Matsu Sando. I'm gonna put him on unsure. I haven't seen much of this guy. I hear he's a good, young, talented player. Wonder kid, next Messi. That's what they always say. I'd have put him in high upside because he was cheap, highly touted. They call him a next superstar. But it's Madrid. And look, I give them credit for Vinny and Rodrigo. But recently, the way they've done with Arda Güler and Andrick, like not really giving these players the opportunities they need to show how good they are. So I'm not super sold on this guy. Um, I don't know much about him, but it's just going to Madrid. Recently, Madrid haven't really shown that they have the ability to, like Madrid haven't shown they have the ability to develop these players like last season. So I don't know if how much he's gonna play. So I'm gonna put him on unsure. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully, but yeah, I'm gonna move to Ryan Eight Nori. Hmm, I'm gonna put Eight Nori in high upside or raise the spirits. I am gonna put Ainori in raise the spirits. Just because, I think Ainori is a good left back. I think he's gonna help. I think City have needed a left back for a long, long time. Um, since like Fabian Delph, Cancelo. Finally, they have, a proper left back. He plays left back, not a center back. They're not a midfielder. They have a left back, not a right back. So I don't know. I know he's a good player. Bombs forward. I mean, I assume this means we're going to see Vardio in the center back position more often, which I think is good for City. I think he's a good player. But I don't know if he's, ever going to be like a superstar. But I think he's a good signing. I think City have needed a left back for a while. It wasn't too much money in today's market. So I am gonna put, yeah, I think raise the spirits. I think it's gonna be could be a decent player for City. I don't think he's gonna blow anyone away. Delap, I'm gonna put in high upside. I think Chelsea do need a striker. I would have liked Chelsea to sign a statement striker like Osimhen, because I think they have one of the best midfields in the league. And for me, Delap is kind of like we're still building. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if you watch the NBA, but it's like the Spurs. They were like, are we gonna go get KD with Wemby, or or KD or Giannis or somebody, or is we just gonna draft Dylan Harper and keep building this young core? And Chelsea seems to be on that young core side. Nope, we don't want no old, experienced, bona fide top striker that's gonna get us the goals. We're gonna keep going with these young guys. And Delap had a really good season with Ipswich last year. He was like their main attacking threat in a team that really struggled. So Delap can strike a ball. So I don't know. I'm excited about Delap. He's strong. I think he's a better finisher than Jackson. I think he will start over Jackson. I know he already scored in the Club World Cup. I believe I haven't really been watching that. I'm going to be so honest with you, but I think Delap is going to be high upside. Young player, like 30 million euros or pounds. Yeah, I think he's going to be a high upside signing. I think he could do well at Chelsea, but I'm not so sure he's a statement signing. Job Bellingham. I'm going to put him in Raise the Spirits. Joe Bellingham is a good player. I feel like some people just say, "Oh, it's the whole Jude thing. He's following his brother going to the same team, blah blah blah." But I'm not. It is a big jump. It is a big jump. He's not as good as Jude when he went. I don't think it's a big jump. And I believe he can do it. He could definitely be in high upside. But I just feel like putting him in Raise the Spirits because it's the brother of Jude. Jude was great for Dortmund. It could go crazy, but I'm gonna put him in Raise the Spirits. I don't think he's gonna play. I might be wrong, but I'm not so sure. I mean, to be fair, Dortmund didn't do too good last season. They scraped the top four in like the last two games. But does he break into that midfield? He probably does actually. I'm gonna keep him Raise the Spirits. I think he's a good player. Young player. Dortmund's good at developing players. Yeah, let's see what they do. Cherky, I'm not sure I'm gonna put in a statement. I'm gonna put in high upside. Cherky's a baller, certified baller, streets baller, and I like these kind of players, man. The question is, in this era of efficiency, GNA, is he gonna get that? He did that at Lyon last season, but like he ran Lyon's attack, like he was Lyon's attack. Is Pep Guardiola gonna give him those same keys? I am not so sure. But I think he's a good player. I think he's a good. It was cheap, so it has to be high upside for me. It was cheap. We saw what he did at the Nations League. We saw what he did in the Europa League against United. He's just a baller. He's teched out. And what I like about Cherky actually, it's not just the dribbling. He's an elite passer. So when people talk about like Saint Maximin and Ben Arfa and these guys, I don't think they could pass like Cherky. Cherky can pick out a pass from any direction. I just think Cherky's a baller. So I'm going to keep him in high upside. I think he could be a statement. I think if it goes well, he's going to be like him and Wirtz, carrying the midfield, attacking midfield position of these teams. But, it's a bit weird. Like, what does that mean for Foden? Does Foden play on the wing? Does Foden play less games? Because Foden was meant to be that guy, but now Cherky's there. And I think Cherky's a serious baller. If it works out, it's going to be scary at City. Jonathan Tah, I am going to put probably Raise the Spirits. Free signing. Coming to Bayern. I think Kompany did a decent job last season. I think Kim Min Jae perhaps didn't have his best season last year. Dyer's left. So getting this guy for free, to get him help that defense with Pamecano, some good rotations. I think he's gonna help out. I don't necessarily think he's gonna come and just, like beat an elite defender and push Bayern to win the Champions League. I think he's gonna raise the spirits. I think he's gonna contribute to the team. And yeah. Next we have Tiani Rain. I'm also gonna put in high upside. I mean, this guy's been balling out in Milan for a couple seasons now, and he's just a great player. And I think people underrate him because Milan have underperformed, but he is no doubt, him and Pulisic, been their best player like the past two seasons. He's very attacking, so I'm not quite sure how exactly the midfield is gonna work. Like, can they play Rodri, Reiners, and Cherky? I think Reiners can probably do that defensive work a little bit, but Rodri, after the injury, is he still good enough to, hold down the whole defense while these guys, just think about going for it? I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm going to put him high upside. It's a good signing. It's a lot of money, though. It is a lot of money. Dean Huijsen. I might put him in Raise the Spirits. And this might be controversial because he's young. He's all the hype. He can pass. He can pass for days. But when I watched Bournemouth last season, he was like the B side. He can pass. He looks cute on the ball. He can get some goals. He's a chill guy. But Zaberni for me was like the dirty work. He was like the defense. And I guess he might have that at Madrid with Rudiger. So Rudiger does all the dirty work, and he's just passing, looking clean. It might be a three at the back. I'm not sure, but I think he will be good. He definitely could be high upside, but I'm not quite as sold on this guy as most people are. And now Frimpong. I might be biased once again. I'm gonna put Frimpong at high upside. I think people are a bit concerned about where exactly he fits. He's very, very different from Trent. He bombs up and down, up and down. Sometimes neglects the defensive work, but Trent did as well. Um, I think if Frimpong replicates even close to what he was doing offensively at Leverkusen, it's gonna be scary because him and Salah on that wing, Salah cutting, Frimpong going off, getting those crosses and getting those shots in. I think he could be dangerous. So I'm gonna put him at high upside. Zubamendi. I'm gonna put Zubamendi and raise the spirits. And Arsenal fans, please, please, please don't come at me. For me, it's just the reason I put Zubamendi and raise the spirits is because they lost Partey, and they brought in Zubamendi. And personally, I'm not sure that's like a mega upgrade. I think he's a good player. I think he can fill the role. I think he's a good player, very cool on the ball. Actually, very aggressive in the tackle. Actually, people kind of think he's just this Spanish midfielder passer. No, he's aggressive. So I like him, but I'm not sure he's gonna be that. I'm not sure he's that big of an improvement on Partey. I want to see Arsenal, go out and get this striker. They're wasting time. Come on, Arsenal, do something like because this has been going on since like January. But I mean, I think it's a good signing for them. I think he'll raise the spirits. I think he'll help the team. But do I think he's necessarily gonna be, a superstar for them? Not necessarily. Next up, Trent Alexander Arnold. I have to put him in statement. I hate to do this, but to get Trent for free, it's a statement signing no matter what. Especially for Madrid, who have been struggling in the right back department. Carvajal got injured last season. Lucas Vasquez put up so many Hall of Shame performances last season. They needed a new guy in there. Trent giving those balls to Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo. Oh my! I mean, yeah, it's just a statement signing. I think they need a right back. Obviously, Carvajal I think is back from injury soon, but I think Trent just locks down the position. Carvajal becomes the understudy. I think it's a state. I think it's a statement signing. Um, yeah, I don't want to talk about that too much. Let us go to Jamie Gittens. I might put him in unsure. I would have put him in raise the spirits, but I'm not even sure he raises the spirits. I think he could be a superstar. He's a young guy. He's done good things at Dortmund. He scored some goals, but he hasn't scored a goal. He scored like one goal in 6 months. He's still very young, raw. It's just like another young, raw player joining this Chelsea project. So I'm not so sure on Jamie Gittins. I think maybe down the line, but as far as like immediate impact, I'm gonna put him in unsure. I think it's good rotation if Mudrick, I think, is out with that his testing. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen in Madueke. Obviously, they didn't take Sancho, so getting a new winger could be good. Could be good, but I'm gonna put him in unsure for now. Norgard. Um, I'm actually gonna put Norgard and raise the spirits. This is the first one that wasn't actually on the site. I don't know. I think Partey's going, Jorginho's going. He's not gonna play too many minutes. He might be a good guy in the dressing room. But Norgard is a quality Premier League player, like if he does have to play, like he's a quality Prem player. I don't think he's gonna like look out of place or anything. I'll just put him in raise the spirits. I think he helps the overall squad. Him and Zubimendi in the same tier might be crazy, but I think they have different roles. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna put him there. JP, Joao Pedro. This one is recent. Just happened today, I think. I am gonna put Joao Pedro in Raise the Spirits. And the reason I put Joao Pedro in Raise the Spirits is because he's a baller. Joao Pedro's a baller. But I just kind of feel like this whole archetype they have that's not a striker, not a cam. They have, Nkunku. They had Felix. Now they've got Joao Pedro. Like, where exactly does Joao Pedro play in this team? You know what I mean? I think Delap is striking, or Jackson. Does he go on the wing? But they already got Gittins and Madueke and Neto. I don't think he displaces Palmer. So I think he's going to float around all those positions. Probably not play all. Probably not going to play every single game. Come in and out of games. But for me, it's just crazy that the price for a player like that these days is 50 million. But look, he's a young player. I think he could come up well. The thing he put up good stats last season, but he scores a lot of penalties, and I feel like Chelsea's penalty spot is, they have Palmer. I feel like he's gonna stay on those, so I feel like his output might decline. But he's young, he's good, he's teched out. I'm just not sure if like if I look at the forward line of Delap, Pedro, and Gittins, that doesn't like it's decent, but it doesn't like strike fear like, oh my days, these guys want to go and win the title. And do Chelsea want to win the title this season? Probably not, but I feel like they just have such a strong midfield that I feel like they could have gone for like stronger targets. But I don't think he's a bad players. I think they will contribute to the squad. I'm gonna put him in raise the spirits. I'm not so sure it gets right into the first team, but I think he'll be useful for the squad definitely. Kirkaz, I'm also gonna put in raise the spirits just so I don't seem too biased. I think Kirkaz is a good left back. I'm not so sure he's like like the next best left back the way people are talking about it, but he's a good left back, solid. I feel like sometimes in those positions you don't need to go for the biggest superstar. I think sometimes you just need like a solid guy, gets up and down, up and down. I don't know if Robertson's staying. Obviously, my last video was about Robertson leaving. Now, I don't know about him. If Robertson stays, I think he could be a good understudy and maybe slowly take over the reins. I think he could be a good player, but I don't think Kirkes is ever going to be like a superstar. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm gonna skip Pogba for now. I'm gonna put Kepa. I'm just gonna put him in the unsure. He might not be gone next season. He might just be, deputy. They'll hope Raya stays fit most of the season. Yeah, decent deputy keeper. I don't think he had a decency in Bournemouth last season, so I feel like people are getting a bit, the people like saying like what Arsenal doing with Norgard and Kepa. I think they're doing a bit too much. I mean, these guys are just squad players. They're not gonna do too much, but we do need to see Arsenal do more business. Get a striker, get a winger, get a midfielder. Come on, Arsenal. Because I think Arsenal are a good team. I just think they're missing some key points to help them get off the line. But they're moving slow. Their competitors are moving quick. So I think they need to step up. But Kepa, decent player. And finally, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, I'm going to put in a statement. I'm just happy to see Pogba back playing football. I don't know what exactly happened with those tests. I don't know. I'm not going to make any speculations, but we all know what Paul Pogba is on his day. He's one of the best midfielders, of this past generation on his day. We've seen what he's done for France. We've seen what he's done at times for United, what he did at Juventus. He's just a baller, man. And, you work your whole life to get in this football thing. Don't get me wrong. He's had a great career. He's won a World Cup. But obviously, he's missed the last 2 years now. But I'm just happy to see him get back into professional football. And, I think, it could be one of those stories that's like, if this works out, to be like, do you remember Monaco Pogba like coming back from this ban? Like it could cement a legacy, I think it really helps. So I'm excited, man. I'm happy to see Pogba back playing football. I don't want to see any of these people, not play because that's what they worked their whole lives for. So I'm gonna put in a statement just because. Yeah. Did I miss any signings? I think Keller to Brentford. I think that's good. I think Kwanzaa to Leverkusen. I think it's a good signing for Leverkusen. I'm a bit, I like Kwanzaa. I think he's a good player, but I guess if you want to spend the big bucks, you gotta sell. So you had to go. But there's a buyback clause, so I'm not too stressed about Kwanzaa going. But I think it's a good signing for Leverkusen. Let me know what you think. If I did any ranking so terrible that's like, what are you saying? Put in the comments. Let me know. I want to know if I messed up. I think I did pretty well. And if I missed anybody, like any big signing that's happened, let me know as well. Even if it's your club, tell me. I will let you know where I will rank them on this my little chart. Thanks for watching. Peace.